Next, let's move on to the basics of taking and making calls. So there's a number of different ways to access the phone app on the device. First, obviously, is to pick up the handset. When you pick up the handset, it brings up the most recently used screen on the phone app. You'll notice along the top here there are a number of different icons. There is a star, which is your favorites. You can add your own in here. There's a clock, which is a recent tab, which shows you the most recent calls that you've made. You can choose at the top left all calls, or you can choose missed calls, received calls, or dial calls. So you can go back and view your past call history. Then you've got contacts, which we'll get into a bit later as well. And then of course the keypad, where you can dial whatever number you wish. And then on the far right we have something called Busy Lamp Field, which is for monitoring the status of other extensions in the office, which will also show you how to configure. So let's start by making a call. If we open the phone app, go to the keypad, there's no prefix required when you're dialing, so you don't need to dial 0 before you start dialing. Let's say I wanted to dial Telstra, and then I simply press call when I'm ready to dial, or I can pick up the handset to initiate the call. Now if the handset...
Thanks for calling Telstra Business.
If the handset is on the hook, you'll notice that it defaults to speakerphone. If you pick up the handset, the speakerphone will switch off, but you can also control the speakerphone manually by using the button on the right here. So there's a small speaker icon. If you push on that, it turns the speaker on. Push it again, turns the speaker off. You can do that whether or not you have the handset picked up or not. You also have a microphone icon on the left side. That's for muting your own microphone, which is not to be confused with hold. That simply mutes your microphone. And you can also mute your microphone by using the button on the underside of the handpiece. So if you push that button, you'll notice the icon goes grey. Push it again, it's blue. When it's blue, it's active, and when it's grey, it's muted. And you can see there, as I hung up the handpiece, because it wasn't on speaker, it actually hung up the call. If you wanted to put the handpiece on and still continue the call, you'd want to choose speaker first and then hang up the call. So in terms of controlling volume, volume is context sensitive on this phone. So that means that depending on whether or not you're using the speaker or if you're using the earpiece, adjusting the slider in the middle of the screen here will change the volume for that which you're using. So right now, if I put the speaker on and I drag this up, that's going to increase the volume of the speakerphone. If I were to pick up the handpiece, you'll notice the slider jumps up slightly because it has a different setting. So I can adjust the earpiece volume separately to the speaker volume.